In a major announcement, India has refused to agree to the UK's request to include a data exclusivity rule in a new free trade agreement. This new rule have protected the data pharmaceutical companies use to provide their medicines are safe and effective. The UK wanted this rule so that companies would actually stop competitors from making cheaper versions of their drugs based on their research data. However, India made it very clear that it won't accept this demand. The Indian government is focused on supporting its large and growing generic drug industry, which plays a very important role in country's economy and exports. India's generic drug industry is worth about $25 billion and it is responsible for half of the country's pharmaceutical exports. The main concern is that if data exclusivity were included, it could limit the ability of Indian companies to produce cheaper versions of the drugs. These companies, which make affordable medicines for people around the globe, could be prevented from using the clinical trial data of innovator companies to get approvals for their own drugs. So in simple terms, when pharmaceutical companies invent a new medicine, they spend a lot of money to prove that it works through global clinical trials. Data exclusivity would give these companies control over the data, stopping others from using it to make cheaper version of the medicine. Well, this is a problem for India's generic drug industry as it could prevent them from making affordable alternatives. Let me tell you, India has already rejected a similar request from the European Free Trade Association, which includes countries like Switzerland, Iceland, and Norway. Now, this was during the trade talk that resulted in the deal signed in 2023. Pharmaceutical giants like GSK from the UK and Roche from Switzerland are some of the biggest players in the industry. But India wants to ensure that the generic drug sector, which makes up medicine at much cheaper prices, continue to grow and thrive. Experts have also pointed out that the concept of data exclusivity goes beyond what is required by global trade rules, like the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights agreement that was set by the World Trade Organization. So in the end, India is sticking to its goal of supporting affordable medicines for its own people and for the global market. This decision is part of a larger effort to keep the country's generic drug industry really strong and competitive in the global market.